back to Speaking with Confidence, the podcast that helps you build the soft skills that lead to real results. Communication, storytelling, public speaking, and showing up with confidence in every conversation that counts. I'm Tim Newman, a recovering college professor turned communication coach, and I'm thrilled to guide you on your journey to becoming a powerful communicator. What would you do if you had to give a speech and you did not do the prep work that we've always been talking about? What if you were at a meeting and your boss wants you to cover for a team member who didn't show up? What would you do? And no, you can't go out the window and crawl down the fire escape. Today, I'm going to give you 3 tools you can use to give a decent 5-minute presentation that has a clear structure when you're under pressure. This does not give you the permission to slack off and not prepare for other presentations. This is for emergency use only. The 3 tools are prep, the rule of 3, and clarifying questions. Prep gives each point a simple flow. The rule of 3 keeps your content focused and memorable, and clarifying questions buy you the seconds you need to think or adjust. These aren't abstract ideas. They're the same fast, on-the-job techniques trainers use with executives and teams who face last-minute speaking requests. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to use them, which starts by tackling the hardest part, where to begin. And what if you had a single word that instantly gave shape to any answer? That 4-letter word is prep, a mental shortcut that keeps you clear, structured, and confident no matter the topic. Instead of panicking or stalling, prep provides a simple path you can follow in seconds. And here's how it works. Prep stands for point, reason, example, and point. Say it once to frame your idea. Explain why it matters. Give a quick story or statistic, then restate it to land with clarity. These 4 steps create a built-in rhythm that's easy to recall when your mind goes blank. Think of it as scaffolding for your thoughts. You don't need to invent the structure, it's already there. And because it's repeatable, you can apply it again and again without losing flow. So let's break it down. Your point is the core idea you want people to remember, a simple, direct takeaway. Your reason supports it with logic, showing why the claim makes sense and why people should care. Your example makes the abstract real, which is where prep comes alive. Always reach for something concrete, a 10 to 20 second personal anecdote, a quick client story, or a concise business example. As we've talked about numerous times, people remember stories far more than theories. And finally, you close by repeating your point, reinforcing the takeaway so no one leaves guessing. Here's a quick illustration. Imagine you're asked in a meeting, can you give a quick update on the project? You could use prep. Point, the project is on track. Reason, we hit last week's milestones and have resources in place for the next phase. Example, right now we're completing user testing. Next comes rollout, with the main risk being adoption speed. Point again. So overall, the project is progressing smoothly with one key dependency ahead. That response is under a minute, but it sounds structured, confident, and useful. Prep takes you from frozen to focused. It reduces the mental load, giving your brain a framework to lean on so you're not scrambling for where to start or how to wrap up. But structure alone isn't enough. The real challenge comes when you have more than one idea to deliver, and that's where the next tool makes all the difference. So how do you make sure your message actually stays with people? The answer is surprisingly simple, 3 points. The rule of 3 is one of the most reliable ways to make a message not just clear in the moment, but memorable afterwards. Public speaking coaches use it because it aligns with how people best absorb short, spoken messages. 3 items are easy to track, easy to recall, and carry a sense of completeness. When you combine the rule of 3 with prep, each response gains both shape and weight. Instead of feeling pressured to brainstorm endless reasons or examples, you cut yourself off at 3. That limit adds focus and prevents rambling. Imagine your point is, remote work improves productivity. Your 3 reasons could be saved commute time, fewer interruptions, and flexible schedules. Then pair each reason with one short, concrete example. For saved commute time, imagine reclaiming 10 hours a week. That's time you can devote to personal work or personal priorities. For fewer interruptions, working from home means uninterrupted blocks of time for important tasks. And for flexibility, parents can align work schedules with children's schedules, reducing stress while staying productive. Each reason and example pair has enough weight to stand on its own, and together they build a balanced argument. The same approach works in practical settings like project updates. Communication coach Benjamin Ball suggests breaking updates into 3 parts: where the project stands, what the immediate next steps are, and what the main risk or challenge looks like. Deliver each piece in under a minute, and in 5 minutes you give an executive-ready update that people can easily follow and remember. No clutter, no overthinking, just 3 points that cover everything that matters. The effectiveness of this pattern is reinforced by how commonly it shows up. Sales pitches often promise 3 benefits. Political speeches highlight 3 policies. And stories around the world follow a 3-act shape. Audiences trust the pattern. When you apply it, you give yourself both a structure and impact. Still, even with prep and the rule of 3 on your side, there are moments when pressure builds and your mind races. That's when another skill becomes just as valuable, one that creates the extra room you need to think before speaking. The easiest way to create mental breathing room when you're on the spot is what's called the 10-second trick. Just ask a clarifying question. It sounds simple, but it can turn a rushed, panicked moment into a calm and deliberate response. Most people, when surprised, either fill the space with or jump straight into an answer that feels scattered. A simple clarifying question flips the script. You look thoughtful instead of flustered. And the key is to have ready-to-use lines you can lean on. Examples coaches recommend include, could you clarify what specifically you want me to address? Or, could you provide a bit more context on that? These questions achieve 3 things at once. They buy you about 10 seconds to breathe and gather your thoughts. And they show that you're actively listening, and they help surface what your audience actually cares about so you can zero in on it. Pair that question with a short delivery ritual. Take 1 breath before speaking. Rephrase or repeat the question out loud, then ask your clarifying question. That pause lengthens the mental space you've created and sets you up to slot directly into prep or the rule of 3 once you start answering. For example, if someone asks about future opportunities in your project, you can repeat back, future opportunities? Do you mean growth opportunities or technical improvements? That short echo not only clarifies the question, but also signals composure. Reframing works especially well across different settings. In a technical context, you might say, just to confirm, are you asking about the timeline or the implementation details? In a conversational context, you might say, so you'd like me to share the biggest challenge right now, right? Both give you extra seconds, both show attentiveness, and both steer the conversation where it needs to go. One caution: use clarifying questions strategically. Asking one at the right moment makes you look confident and collaborative. Asking too many in a row makes it seem like you're stalling. The goal is to buy focus, not to dodge. When you practice this habit, pressure becomes easier to handle, and each response feels sharper and more deliberate. And with these tools in place, the next step is knowing how to pull everything together when someone puts you on the spot. When it's time to wrap up, remember the system that makes speaking under pressure possible. Lean on the 3 tools: prep for structure, the rule of 3 for clarity, and 1 smart question to guide your response. Coaches say competence under pressure comes from systems, not perfection. Use a system to be good enough and deliver every time. For practice, pick a workplace question or a current event. Set a 5-minute timer and run 1 prep plus 3-point answer out loud. Prep, 3 points, 1 smart question, and that's it. But remember, this is only for emergencies. There is no substitute for preparation and practice. Remember, we're looking for progress, not perfection. That's all for today. Be sure to visit speakingwithconfidencepodcast.com to get your free ebook, The Top 21 Challenges for Public Speakers and How to Overcome Them. You can also register for the Formula for Public Speaking course. Always remember, your voice has the power to change the world. We'll talk to you next time.